The morning light filters through the window, soft and golden. Mary sits by her favorite chair, a cup of tea warming her hands. She stretches gently, but her shoulders resist, tight and heavy. It's been months since she last felt free in her movement. The stiffness came quietly, little by little, like time itself. She remembers lifting her grandchildren, hanging laundry, waving hello. Now even reaching for a cup feels like a small challenge. But today, she's decided something will change. No rushing, no pressure, just patience and breath. She turns on her favorite podcast, one that speaks softly and kindly. The host's voice feels like a friend sitting beside her. "Welcome," the voice says, calm and reassuring. "Today we'll move together, slowly and gently." Mary smiles, takes a deep breath, and listens. Each word feels like sunlight reaching a quiet corner of her body. The tension in her shoulders softens, almost like it's listening too. For the first time in a while, she feels hope instead of stiffness. Movement doesn't have to hurt, it can heal. And this morning she begins again, one slow stretch at a time. Mary closes her eyes and takes a slow breath. The sound of her inhale is steady, like the tide moving in. Her shoulders rise just a little, then fall as she exhales. That simple motion feels like both effort and relief. The voice in her headphones continues, soft and certain. Shoulder stiffness, it says, is something many of us know too well. Mary nods, though no one can see her. She knows that feeling, the quiet weight that creeps in over time. It begins with tiny moments we don't notice. The shirt that's harder to pull over the head. The stretch that used to feel easy but now feels far away. The small ache that whispers when we reach for something high. Day by day, the body forgets the language of motion. It stops speaking in fluid gestures and starts murmuring in tension. The host's voice is calm, like someone who's seen it all before. Our shoulders, she says, are storytellers of our lives. They carry decades of motion, of care, of love. Mary thinks of all the things her shoulders have carried. Groceries, grandchildren, memories. The simple acts that once filled her days with purpose. But now, even brushing her hair feels like a careful task. The voice goes on, gently explaining the truth behind the stiffness. When we move less, the muscles shorten. The tendons tighten. The joints forget their freedom. Mary imagines her shoulders as doors that haven't been opened in years. The hinges stiff, the edges dusted with time. They just need a little oil, a little movement. Nothing harsh, nothing sudden. Just care. Age doesn't steal flexibility, the host says. It only borrows it, waiting for us to reclaim it. Mary smiles at that. She likes the idea of reclaiming something instead of losing it. Her body isn't failing, it's just waiting for attention. The host reminds her that stiffness isn't a punishment. It's a message, an invitation to move with kindness. To listen to what the body needs, instead of what it used to do. Mary takes another slow breath. Her shoulders lift again, a little higher this time. She feels warmth spreading across her upper back. It's faint, but it's real. The voice continues, steady and calm. Sometimes we mistake stillness for safety. We think that not moving will protect us. But the truth is, motion is medicine. Gentle, patient movement keeps the body alive. Mary opens her eyes and looks out the window. The light has changed, softer now, like morning giving way to day. She realizes that her stiffness is just in her shoulders. It's in her habits, her fears, her long pauses. And maybe, just maybe, she can loosen those too. Every joint wants to move, the voice reminds her. Every muscle remembers its rhythm. Mary lifts her arm slowly, just a few inches. It feels strange, shaky, but freeing. A small movement, yes, but a beginning. She exhales and lets the warmth linger. Her body whispers back, "Thank you." And in that moment she understands. The journey to ease doesn't begin with strength. It begins with listening. The next morning, the world feels quieter. Mary wakes before the sun, her room still wrapped in soft shadows. She sits up slowly, her shoulders tight but familiar now. There's no rush, no pressure, just her and the quiet rhythm of breathing. She remembers what the host said about slow movement. That moving slowly doesn't mean weakness. It means awareness, it means safety. She presses play again, and the calm voice greets her like an old friend. "Good morning," it says, light and kind. "Today we move slowly, not to test our limits but to honor them." Mary lets those words settle. Honor, not push, listen, not force. Her younger self used to believe that faster was better, that exercise had to burn to be worth it. But that mindset left her body tired, not strong. Now she's learning the beauty of stillness between the motions. The host speaks again. "When we move fast, the body reacts. When we move slow, the body responds." Mary nods, letting the idea sink in. She rolls her shoulders once, deliberately, feeling each inch of motion. At first it's stiff. Then something small releases, like a knot untangling. It feels like her body is saying, "Yes, that's it, keep going." She smiles quietly, grateful for this gentle kind of progress. The host's tone deepens, almost like a whisper. Slowness teaches us to listen. It reminds us that strength isn't just in effort. It's in attention. Mary breathes in deeply, counting to 3. Her lungs expand, her chest rises. The air feels cool and alive, refreshing her from the inside. She exhales, and her shoulders soften again. It's a dance between breath and motion, small but meaningful. The voice continues. "Every time you move slowly, you teach your body trust. You show it that movement can be safe, that it can heal." Mary closes her eyes and lets that trust settle in. She thinks about how many times she's ignored pain, how often she pushed through, pretending not to feel. This time she doesn't push. She feels every moment, every stretch, every pause. And in that awareness, something inside her changes. It's not just her muscles that loosen, it's her fear. The fear of doing it wrong. The fear of hurting herself again. Now it feels like her body and mind are finally on the same side. The host's voice becomes softer, more reflective. "There is wisdom in slow movement," it says. "When you move with care, you remind your body it's still capable." Mary opens her eyes. The room is brighter now, touched by morning light. She moves her arms again, slowly tracing a circle through the air. Her joints hum, her breath flows, her heart feels steady. She realizes slow movement is not about control, it's about connection. Each motion is a quiet promise to herself. A promise to move kindly, to live gently, to stay aware. And in that softness, she feels something powerful rise inside her. Hope. Steady and calm, moving as slowly as she does. The day feels fresh, like a blank page waiting for gentle motion. Mary stands beside her chair, the morning light soft on her skin. She rolls her shoulders back, slow and cautious, testing her comfort. The voice in her headphones returns, calm and encouraging. "Before we stretch," it says, "we prepare the body to listen." Mary nods. She's learning that movement starts in the mind first. "Let's begin with the breath," the voice continues. "Inhale through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth." Mary follows, her breath deep and steady. With each exhale, she feels her chest relax a little more. "Now roll your shoulders backward in a small circle," the host says. Mary moves carefully, feeling the muscles wake up from their stillness. There's a faint warmth under her skin, a quiet awakening. "Now roll them forward," the voice guides. She obeys, the motion gentle, smooth, like water flowing in reverse. Her body creaks just a little, but it feels alive again. The sound is not pain, it's proof of movement returning. Good, the host says softly. Now let your arms hang by your sides. Mary shakes them out lightly, releasing the tension she didn't know she held. Feel the weight of your arms, the voice says. They've carried much through your life. Let them rest for a moment. Mary smiles. She never thought of her arms as something that needed rest. She's always used them to care for others, rarely herself. Now this feels like a small act of gratitude. Lift your shoulders up toward your ears, the voice continues. Hold for a second and release. Mary does so, feeling the muscles stretch and settle back into place. The release feels almost emotional, like a sigh from deep within. The music behind the voice is soft, a gentle rhythm that mirrors her breathing. Now bring your attention to your posture, the host instructs. Imagine a string pulling the top of your head toward the ceiling. Mary straightens slightly, her spine lengthening. Her chest opens, and her breath feels lighter, easier. The host explains that good posture allows better oxygen flow, that a tall spine gives space for movement to begin freely. Mary hadn't thought of posture as a kindness before, but now it feels like one. Take another breath, the voice says. Let the air fill your lungs completely, then let it go. Mary inhales deeply, her ribs expanding like gentle waves. When she exhales, she feels her body soften even more. The host's voice lowers, warm and soothing. Your shoulders are ready now, it says. Prepared for slow, gentle stretches that bring freedom back. Mary stands still for a moment, feeling her body hum quietly. The warmth in her shoulders spreads like sunlight through water. She realizes she hasn't felt this aware of her body in years. Every breath, every movement feels intentional, alive. And in that awareness, she feels both calm and strong. The stiffness is still there, but it no longer feels like an enemy. It feels like an old friend, ready to change. Mary smiles softly and whispers to herself, "I'm ready." Mary takes a deep breath, her hands resting softly on her thighs. The voice in her headphones returns, calm and steady as a heartbeat. Now that your body is warm, it says, we'll begin our shoulder stretches. Mary nods, her focus sharpening, her breath slow and patient. Let's start with shoulder circles, the host continues. Lift your shoulders gently toward your ears, then roll them back. Mary follows, moving slowly, each motion like a wave rolling to shore. Her muscles respond, hesitant at first, then more freely with each circle. Good, the voice encourages. Now roll them forward. The sound of her breath mixes with the faint rustle of fabric. She feels the warmth spreading through her upper arms, across her collarbone. It's not strain, it's renewal, small sparks of life returning. Next, we'll reach overhead, the host says softly. Raise both arms as high as feels comfortable, palms facing each other. Mary lifts her arms, slow as sunrise, until she feels the pull near her shoulders. Her joints stretch gently, her back lengthens, her chest opens. She holds it for a breath, feeling the quiet challenge. Then the voice says, exhale and lower your arms down slowly. She releases them with care, her muscles easing into calm. Her breath steadies, her heartbeat relaxed and gentle. Now let's move to a cross-body stretch, the voice continues. Bring your right arm across your chest and hold it with your left hand. Mary follows, pulling just enough to feel a gentle tug. It's tender, not painful, like the body remembering kindness. She holds for a few breaths, feeling the stretch bloom through her shoulder. Release, the host says, and switch sides. Mary repeats the motion, her body mirroring the rhythm of her breath. She imagines tension melting away, layer by layer. Each exhale feels like setting something down that she no longer needs. Now interlace your fingers behind your back, the voice instructs. Straighten your arms gently and lift them just a little. Mary does so, feeling the front of her shoulders open wide. Her chest expands, her spine feels taller, her heart lighter. She stays there for a few breaths, calm and still. This stretch, the host explains, helps open the chest and improve posture. Mary smiles, remembering the days she stood tall without thinking. She feels that same pride now, quiet and full of grace. Slowly release your hands, the voice says softly. Let your arms hang by your sides once again. Mary exhales, her body humming with quiet relief. Her shoulders feel looser, warmer, lighter. She rolls them once more, just to enjoy the freedom of it. Notice how you feel, the host whispers. Every small stretch is a reminder of what your body can still do. Mary closes her eyes, taking in that truth. She doesn't feel old in this moment, she feels capable. Not racing against time, but moving with it. The stiffness hasn't vanished, but it no longer defines her. What defines her now is motion, breath, and calm persistence. As the music fades softly, she whispers to herself, I'm moving again. The morning light fills the room, soft and golden against Mary's face. She sits quietly, her shoulders relaxed, her breath steady and calm. The voice in her headphones returns, smooth and reassuring as always. You did beautifully, it says. Now let's talk about keeping this feeling. Mary smiles, her fingers resting gently on her knees. The stiffness she once feared feels smaller now, almost distant. Consistency, the voice continues, is where real change begins. Not perfection, not pressure, just gentle, steady effort. Mary listens closely, her mind tracing each word like a promise. She remembers times she started things but never stayed with them. A diet, a routine, a resolution, each one fading with time. But this feels different. This feels like something she can live with, not just do. The host's tone is warm, like sunlight through an open window. When we move every day, even for a few minutes, the body remembers. It learns that motion is safe, that stillness isn't its only choice. Mary nods, understanding it more deeply than ever before. She doesn't need to push hard or chase progress. She only needs to return, again and again, with patience. The host shares a story, soft and familiar. There was a man in his 70s, she says. He began with 5 minutes of movement each morning. At first, he could barely lift his arms without strain. But he kept going slowly, day by day. And one morning, he reached for the sky and realized he felt free again. Mary feels a warmth bloom in her chest. That story could be anyone's, it could be hers. The voice continues, steady and hopeful. Each stretch is a seed you plant, it says. You water it with consistency, and one day it blooms into strength. Mary imagines her shoulders as a small garden. Each breath, each movement, tending to something alive inside her. She likes that image, a reminder that growth takes time. She looks toward the window, where sunlight paints the floor in gold. The world outside moves at its own pace, trees swaying, clouds drifting. And she realizes her body is part of that rhythm too. Don't worry if some days you feel stiff again, the voice adds. That's just your body asking for a little more kindness. Mary smiles, that kind of kindness she can offer. A few minutes each morning, a few breaths of care. She doesn't need to be perfect, she just needs to begin again. Your progress lives in the small moments, the host says. In every slow breath, in every gentle stretch, in every pause. Mary feels that truth settle deep within her. She touches her shoulder lightly, feeling warmth under her skin. That warmth isn't just physical, it's gratitude. For her body, her effort, her quiet persistence. She closes her eyes, letting the soft music surround her. The stiffness has become a story, not a sentence. And she knows now, as long as she moves, the story will keep unfolding. The afternoon sun drifts gently through the curtains, warm and soft. Mary sits by the window, her shoulders open, her breathing calm. The voice in her headphones returns, quiet and steady like a heartbeat. Now that your body has moved, it says, let's take a moment to feel. Mary closes her eyes, her hands resting lightly on her lap. The room feels still, peaceful, as if holding its breath with her. Notice your shoulders, the voice whispers. Feel the warmth, the softness that movement has created. Mary listens inwardly, sensing the faint hum beneath her skin. It's as if her body is sighing in relief, thankful to be heard again. She hadn't realized how much emotion could live in her shoulders. All the years of lifting, working, holding things in. The burdens, the responsibilities, the quiet weight of care. Now in this silence she feels them loosening, slowly fatting away. Your body and your mind, the host says softly, are always connected. When one relaxes, the other follows. Mary breathes deeply, letting the truth of those words sink in. With each exhale, she imagines releasing something old, something heavy. Her thoughts drift to moments she carried worry without rest. To the times she smiled through pain and said she was fine. Her shoulders carried all of that silently. And now, for the first time, they are learning to let go. The host's voice feels closer now, like a gentle friend nearby. Sometimes, it says, our bodies tighten to protect us. They hold tension when words can't. Mary understands. It's not weakness, it's care in disguise. Her body was never against her. It was trying to help her cope. She whispers softly, almost a prayer, "Thank you." Her breath deepens, her muscles soften further. Now the voice continues, "Let's rest in stillness. Sit quietly, breathe in peace, breathe out what you no longer need." Mary follows, inhaling the light that fills her room, exhaling the dust of worry that has gathered over years. Her shoulders sink lower, relaxed, unburdened. The music in the background slows, each note stretching gently. Mary feels time itself slowing with it, kind and forgiving. Notice the difference, the voice says softly, from when you began to where you are now. She does notice. The tension is lighter, her breath fuller. Even her thoughts feel softer around the edges. Movement, she realizes, has become her meditation. Her way of listening, of healing without words. Every breath, the host reminds her, is an act of connection. Every small motion brings your body and spirit closer together. Mary smiles faintly, her eyes still closed. She feels whole, no longer fighting her stiffness but understanding it. The sun warms her cheek, and she sits in that warmth without hurry. She doesn't need to chase strength anymore. She's found something better, peace in motion, stillness in strength. And as the final notes fade, Mary whispers to herself, "I am lighter now, I am free." The music fades into a quiet hum, soft as a heartbeat. Mary opens her eyes, the world glowing gently around her. Her shoulders feel lighter, her breath deeper, her body calm. The voice in her headphones speaks one last time, warm and kind. "Thank you for sharing this moment," it says softly. "Your movement today was more than exercise, it was care." Mary smiles, her heart steady, her mind at peace. Outside, the sky has turned golden, calm and forgiving. She feels part of that light, part of something simple and true. The voice continues, "Remember, every small motion matters. Keep breathing, keep moving, keep listening to your body." Mary nods, a quiet promise forming in her chest. She knows she'll return tomorrow, slow and steady as always. The stiffness will come and go, but so will her strength. It's a rhythm she now understands, a balance she can trust. As the music fades completely, silence fills the room like a friend. Mary whispers to herself, "I'm still moving, I'm still here." And in that stillness, There's grace, hope, and gentle renewal.